Hi, welcome to another episode of Lab Rat Sherry. And today, guess what? We're gonna talk about how to survive the new doctor season as a laboratory scientist. Why? Because it is July. July is the new doctor seasons, and they get panic. Here's the first thing you need to keep in mind. Being a doctor does not guarantee that they know more than you do, especially when we're talking about the lab test. And second, there are two types of new doctors you need to deal with, and their needs are slightly different. So let's start with the floor doctor. There are many things they haven't been able to get the time to get familiar with. The hospital policies, the lab policies, all those hospital structures. They'll have no idea what's the correct order code for the test they want. They will be really confused with the reference range, and they may not even know which test tube is the right one for doing add-ons or ordering the test. For all this type of new floor doctors, make sure you're patient with them and give their instructions in a clear, slow voice. The other type of new doctors are the ones doing their residencies inside the lab. These pathology residents, when they've been first put in the on-call position, they may not have an issue of understanding which test means what, and having no problem to figure out the patient situation. However, they have not got enough time to be familiar with the procedure yet. So if they got a phone call from you or from the floor saying they might need a little bit extra things to be done or special permissions for some special case, they might need extra time to do the research, they might need extra time to communicate with you and the floor, and they may also need extra time to call a more senior resident or even the medical director. So if you has to happen need to send them a page waiting for an answer, give them a few extra minutes and maybe just page back if you really need to. So now, let me give you 4 survival tips. Start with the beginning of your shift. From the first second you sit down in front of your bench, grab the tech whoever was working on that bench and make sure you take over the bench with all the information from the previous shift, what happened in the previous shift and what need to be noted. Write it down if you have to. Then after you turn on your computer, check your email. Absolutely check your email. Every single one of them that been sent before you punch in today. Something will be important because a lot of the times, if you have a case that needs special dilution instructions or special reporting range instructions, there will be an email sent to the department you're at. And speak of the department, if your department got a page for reagent stock levels or after notes for meetings, go take a look of that. This is not a super prioritized task, but at least give it a check for like maybe weekly basis. And second, pin the test catalog and the web version of SOP at your search bar or bookmark them, because especially during the new doctor seasons, there will be a lot of questions related to the test that you need to go to the SOP or the test catalog to answer. Yes, they can search that on themselves too, but you don't know what situation they're at. They could be calling you while both of their hands are covered in blood. It totally could happen. So if they're asking for help, pull out these pages and read them clearly. And the third one, stick to the SOP, the standard operating procedure. Stick to it tightly. If you're a new tech, your goal is not to be the medical drama hero who broke the rule and saved the day. Your goal is to survive any situation and do no harm. Anything that becomes a SOP in your department means they've been verified by many people. So if you stick to the SOP, at bare minimum, you will not make a mistake. And even you stick with SOP, make sure you document everything you do whenever you think the situation getting weird. The last suggestion is to protect your mental health. Don't let any bad phone calls to ruin your day. During the new doctor seasons, you can absolutely get in the panic calls. They may not sound nice in the phone, they may sound bossy and pushy, and their attitude might sound like their ego is exploding the ceiling, but most of the time they didn't mean that. They just under a high pressure really need to make a decision that related to somebody's life in a really short period, and they are also fresh in their role. They have anxieties, they also be nervous, they're also human. So there will be frictions in the communication. When that happens, stay calm. Give the information they need in a clear, slow voice and hang it up. When I first started working in the lab, there are bajillions of the times I want to pull off that phone cord. So you are not alone. But after that phone call is finished, after the case is sealed, forget about it. Rest of the day can still be really nice. That's all the suggestions I have for you. Good luck with the new doctor season. Have a good day. This is Lab Rat Sherry. I'll see you in the next episode.